She was a responsible young woman who always put family first.
She was just always there for me, very supportive.
She really cared about her family.
And she had a bright future ahead of her.
She wanted to have her own business.
She feels like she can do anything.
Until one night, she disappeared.
I didn't know if I was going to see her again.
It's a parent's worst nightmare.
As the investigation unfolds, shocking secrets will be revealed.
She was meeting him at a motel.
Why did you want to tell us this before?
I was scared.
But as the case grows cold, hope begins to fade.
There's no new information.
What can you tell us about?
I would tell people, even if she was dead, I just want to know something.
Will the truth remain buried forever?
I was like, I don't want to know, do I?
There's a lot of emotions that go into keeping secrets.
I can't live with this anymore. I have to tell you this.
I have some information about the missing girl.
March 31st, 2015. It's Tuesday in Cleveland, Ohio, an industrial city that's undergone great revitalization in recent years.
Cleveland is a smaller city, but it can feel bigger at times. We have really great food, we have fun sports teams, lots of art and culture.
Life in Cleveland, when I think of it, I think of family. It's a family city.
But on this cold spring night, the family and friends of one young Cleveland resident are facing a crisis.
How can I help you?
At about 10 p.m., a young woman named Regina Fleming walked into a police station in the Cleveland suburb of Middleburg Heights.
I need to file a missing persons report for my friend Tiara Bryant.
Regina explains that she hasn't heard from her friend Tiara Bryant in over 24 hours.
She was very concerned about her whereabouts.
Has there been anyone else that talked to her since then?
I've been calling everybody. I just spoke to her mother.
Hey, Regina.
Regina called me and told me she thought something was wrong.
Tiara's mother had no idea where Tiara was. She hadn't heard from her either.
I feel like that's instant panic. Coming to the realization like she might be missing and might be in trouble.
I started questioning her friends, her roommates, and asking them where she was.
While Tiara's mother continued making calls, Regina had gone to the police to start the missing persons report.
This was totally out of character for Tiara, and they decided that it was time to contact the police.
I just know something terrible has happened to her.
As a mother, I never felt so helpless. I knew something was really bad.
The firstborn child in a large family, Tiara Bryant was the light of her parents' lives from the moment she was born.
Tiara was kind of like a mini-me. She was very protective of her younger brothers.
She was just always there for me, very supportive. It was always, I got your back, you got my back.
But at the age of 4, Tiara's tight-knit family was torn apart.
Her father went to prison, which was really hard on her because she was really close to her dad.
With her father gone, Tiara worked hard to help her mother look after her younger siblings.
Some young girls can be kind of silly. She wasn't that way.
When my mom couldn't do certain things for me, she always stepped up to the plate.
As she got older, Tiara could be both a helper and a handful.
Raising a daughter can be hard, especially if you're a single mom. And of course, when she was a teenager, because they think they know everything and they don't want to listen anymore.
I'm gonna get my grades up, don't worry.
For a while, Tiara struggled in school.
She had failed because she was going through regular teenage stuff.
But she never gave up.
She turned herself around after we went through some therapy and got all her grades up. She made me proud.
After graduating high school, Tiara set her sights on a career.
She was a hustler. She worked several jobs.
She got a job. She did it with so much pride.
Between shifts at work, Tiara also found time to take business classes online.
She decided to go back to school.
She knew she wanted to have her own business one day. So she was very determined.
But she also knew that accomplishing her goals would be even sweeter with a partner by her side.
One of Tiara's jobs was a server at a local restaurant, and one day in 2014, a young man named Harvey Welch came in.
They hit it off. He was really charming.
So maybe you'll be free Friday.
I get off early, so yeah, I should be.
Harvey seemed like exactly what Tiara was looking for.
Harvey was not looking for a serious relationship, and neither was Tiara. But the more time they spent with one another, it grew into something, and then they moved in with one another.
Tiara was away from her family for the first time.
She wanted to show that she could be independent. 19 is an age where people feel like they can be free and start to make their own decisions.
Tiara was pursuing her dreams, and Harvey did everything in his power to help her.
He was very supportive of her goals and education.
She was coming into her own. She was coming into adulthood.
But now, less than a year after branching out on her own, Tiara has been reported missing by her friend, Regina Fleming.
Regina hadn't heard from Tiara for over 24 hours.
Come with me.
She was very concerned about her whereabouts.
After filing the report, the officer takes Regina to speak with investigators.
After the report, then it's referred to the Detective Bureau, who in most cases start with the person who made the report.
Can you tell us what's going on?
And according to Regina, she knows something Tiara's family doesn't.
She lives with her boyfriend, but she's been seeing this guy on the side.
Regina thought that he was just a friend.
They spent a lot of time together, playing video games, hanging out.
Usually he'll pick her up, but last night I gave her a ride.
She had dropped Tiara off at a motel.
Their relationship was what we might call a sneaky link.
They were having sex.
In Cleveland, Ohio, 19-year-old Tiara Bryant had moved out of her mother's house and was working hard to put herself through college.
She wanted to be independent and she wanted to have her own business. She was very determined.
She'd also found her first serious long-term relationship with a young man named Harvey Welch.
At age 19, if you're in love with somebody or in a relationship, it can feel like a fairy tale.
But now, nobody has heard from Tiara in over 24 hours, and her friend Regina Fleming has filed a missing persons report.
When she didn't hear anything, she went to the police department.
Regina tells detectives that the night Tiara went missing, she was meeting another man at a motel.
Regina explained to the police that even though Tiara was happy with her boyfriend, she just wasn't ready to settle down yet.
She sees some guys on the side sometimes.
And this was one of them?
Yes.
Regina didn't know much about the person that Tiara was with.
She knew that he was a 30-something-year-old black man, that she had been hanging out with him.
Do you have a name?
Just his first name.
She says his name is Rashawn.
Regina told investigators that on Monday night, Tiara asked her for a ride to meet Rashawn at a motel.
But sometime later, she received a strange text message from her friend.
Tiara reached out to her because she wanted her to come and get her.
She said that she wasn't feeling comfortable. So Regina went to the hotel to pick her up.
Regina says she let Tiara know as soon as she arrived. But Tiara never came outside.
I waited for about an hour, so I thought she decided to stay.
What did you do then?
I just went home.
But the next day, she still wasn't able to reach Tiara.
Do you have reason to believe that Rashawn may try to harm her?
I mean, no. They were friends before. I'm just worried about it, you know? I'm just scared.
After talking to Regina, Detectives head to the motel.
They found out that the room Tierra was in was checked out to a Rashawn Hunt.
Once inside the room, detectives don't find anything suspicious.
There was no signs of foul play.
Saw a security camera over here. Do you think we can get that footage?
I'm sorry, we're not going to catch anything off of that.
Because the hard drive was full, it stopped recording. So there was no video footage.
Thanks anyway.
Thank you.
Despite the setback with the video, detectives have now identified a person of interest in Tierra's disappearance.
The police tracked down a cell phone number for Rashawn Hunt, and he agreed to meet them in a public park the following morning.
What can you tell us about?
I'm gonna be as truthful and honest to you guys as possible.
Rashawn told the detectives that he'd met Tierra the year before in 2014, and they quickly hit it off.
But he makes it clear that the relationship wasn't serious.
We were just really cool friends. We would have sex. Okay. That was it.
Rashawn says he and Tierra would get together every few weeks.
He would pick her up because she didn't have a car. They would meet at hotels.
But they never went out in public together.
They were trying to be discreet because Tierra had a relationship with Harvey, and Rashawn was engaged.
You cared about it.
Yeah, but I love my fiance. You know what I mean?
Rashawn tells detectives that the night Tierra disappeared was just like all their previous hookups.
Nothing unusual, right? Nothing unusual.
We're coming together for a good time, not a long time, and that's it.
And then what? After that, we talked a little bit, and she said she wanted to go home.
Rashawn said the last time that he saw Tierra was when he dropped her off at a restaurant near her house.
After his rendezvous with Tierra, Rashawn says he went home and got into an argument with his fiancée, Jasmine.
She's pissed off at me. She was all riled off.
Well, she pissed off.
Because I ain't come home when she wanted me to come home.
To detectives, it seems like Rashawn is being upfront with them.
He is being forthcoming. He's cooperating with the interview.
But one thing he says doesn't fit with what Tierra's friend Regina told them.
Regina Fleming claimed to have received text messages from Tierra saying that she felt uncomfortable at the motel, that she wanted to leave.
If the worst had happened and someone had killed or kidnapped Tierra after Rashawn dropped her off, maybe that person has sent those texts to shift suspicion on someone else.
As investigators end the interview, Rashawn offers one last piece of information that could be a clue to that suspect's identity.
He mentioned that they should look into Tierra's boyfriend, Harvey.
According to Rashawn, things weren't going well between them.
They were having difficulties in a relationship.
She was looking to break up with him.
We were in love.
Detectives in Cleveland, Ohio, looking into the disappearance of 19-year-old Tierra Bryant, have just spoken to Rashawn Hunt, a friend with benefits she hooked up with on the night she disappeared.
He was very candid about their relationship.
But Rashawn was adamant that he had nothing to do with Tierra going missing.
He was genuinely concerned.
I mean, I cared about her.
What's more, Rashawn informed detectives that Tierra told him her relationship with her boyfriend, Harvey Welch, was in trouble.
She was talking about leaving her boyfriend.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
Detectives' next step is to speak to Harvey at the apartment he shares with Tierra.
Thanks for speaking with us, Harvey.
No problem.
There was no evidence anywhere in the apartment that there had been any type of foul play.
And according to Harvey, there aren't any problems between him and Tierra.
He says we have a good relationship. Everything is going well.
I've even been thinking about proposing to her soon. Like real soon.
That's when police informed him that they were told that Tierra was actually considering leaving him.
Harvey is shocked by the news.
I don't get it. We were in love.
Harvey, did you ever consider the possibility that she might be having an affair?
What? No, never.
Did Tierra keep her feelings secret from Harvey? Or is he lying about their relationship?
When was the last time you talked to Tierra?
Monday when she went out. She was gonna go hang out with Regina and then stop by her mom's house after.
And where were you Monday night?
I was here just trying to catch up on some sleep.
Harvey said he was at home at the apartment all night, but since he was alone, the detectives didn't have any way to verify it.
When Tierra didn't come home, Harvey says he assumes she spent the night at her mother's.
He was used to Tierra going to her mom's house and staying over there.
He figured there wasn't any reason to worry, because why would anybody hurt Tierra?
We'll be in touch. If you can think of anything else, let us know.
After interviewing Harvey, detectives file a subpoena to get access to his phone records.
Police wanted to check into Harvey's alibi of him just being home the entire night, that Tierra came up missing.
Meanwhile, Tierra's friends and family have begun their own desperate search.
We started making flyers and putting it on Facebook. People were spreading the word to inform everyone that she was missing.
As new information comes to light, Tierra's family reaches back out to detectives with a possible lead.
Tierra's friends brought up this idea that there was another person that the investigators should be talking to. He was an ex, and he still seemed to be interested in her. It was somewhat of a stalking situation, or at least that's what they felt.
She never mentioned who this ex-boyfriend was, but they assumed it was Curtis.
Curtis Yates was Tierra's high school sweetheart.
It was puppy love type of a relationship. It was very innocent.
After high school, Tierra broke up with Curtis, and he didn't take it well.
My sister had ended up dating someone new.
Curtis was not happy about it.
The drama came to a head when Curtis picked a fight with Tierra's new boyfriend.
We're done.
He was very passionate about my sister to go and fight for her. It was just a crazy situation.
Stop. You need to go.
Whatever.
Given his history of getting violent over Tierra, investigators know they need to speak to him.
Police reached out to Curtis to find out if he had been in contact with Tierra.
So when was the last time you talked to her?
Honestly, I can't even remember.
They had broken up. He had went on with his life.
Curtis insisted he had no idea how a rumor had gotten started that he was stalking Tierra.
Curtis also says he has an airtight alibi for the night Tierra disappeared.
I was at work all day, and then after work, some of us went out to a club. You can call them. They'll tell you.
To detectives, it looks like another dead end.
Well, if you should hear from Tierra or anything about her, give us a call.
Have you looked into anybody named Ashley Hollander?
Who's that?
Curtis said that there was a young lady reaching out to him on Facebook by the name of Ashley.
She's been sending me weird messages like old pictures.
Old pictures of what?
Me and Tierra.
Curtis says that lately, the messages have become even more bizarre.
Ashley seemed to know a lot of details that only Curtis and Tierra would know.
He had no idea who she was.
She was even saying she was Tierra.
Detectives investigating the disappearance of Tierra Bryant have looked into 3 potential suspects: her boyfriend, Harvey Welch, her ex, Curtis Yates, and a man she would hook up with occasionally, Rashawn Hunt.
When a young woman disappears with the possibility of foul play, police typically regard any man she had a relationship with as a person of interest.
But now, Curtis has pointed the investigators in a surprising new direction.
Curtis had been receiving disturbing messages on Facebook from a woman named Ashley Hollander.
Ashley seemed to know a lot of personal information about Curtis and Tierra's relationship.
In one message, she claimed to be Tierra.
Would you be willing to give us access to all of your communications with this individual?
Yeah, sure.
After interviewing Curtis, Investigators try to track down the mysterious Ashley Hollander.
The detectives ran a background check on the name Ashley Hollander, and they reached out to Facebook for information on the account.
They find out it's a dummy account, and they can't even find anyone in the city of Cleveland with that name.
When investigators get access to the social media profile, they learn that Curtis Yates isn't the only person Ashley has contacted online.
She actually told several people that she really was Tiara Bryant.
But when detectives reach back out to Tiara's family, they say that the posts and messages don't sound like Tiara.
She does have the information, but as far as her tone, her personality, something seems off.
Detectives conclude that Ashley isn't Tiara in disguise, but an internet troll trying to get attention.
There's no evidence that she actually is her.
It turns out just to be another false lead.
Now, a week into their investigation, detectives are no closer to finding out what happened to Tiara Bryant. Until a phone call changes everything.
Homicide?
Police received an anonymous tip.
No, you don't have to tell me your name. Just tell me what you know.
I have some information about this girl. I heard that she was buried in Sandusky. I don't know where in Sandusky. That's what I heard.
Sandusky, Ohio is a town on Lake Erie, about an hour west of Cleveland.
Did someone kill Tiara and drive to Sandusky to dispose of her body? Detectives are now certain it wasn't her boyfriend, Harvey, or her ex, Curtis Yates.
Detectives had received Harvey Welch's phone records, and the location data showed that he was home all night, just like he said.
They called Curtis's friends, and they all backed up his claims that he came out with them after he got off work that night.
Both alibis checked out.
So investigators decide to take a closer look at the man Tiara hooked up with the night she went missing, Rashawn Hunt.
Rashawn claimed he went home and got into an argument with his fiancée, Jasmine, after he dropped Tiara off. But that was far from an airtight alibi.
When they check for a criminal record, they make a disturbing discovery.
They find out that he has a history of being a very well-known drug dealer.
He also has a history of violence.
15 years earlier, Rashawn committed an armed robbery and actually shot somebody.
And he also had served time in jail for attempted murder.
That means Rashawn is capable of killing someone. But did he kill Tiara?
The investigators brought Rashawn's fiancée, Jasmine, in for an interview, both to check out his alibi and to see if she knew anything about Tiara.
Jasmine quickly makes it clear that she's now Rashawn's ex-fiancée.
Rashawn had come clean to Jasmine about his relationship with Tiara after the detectives had interviewed him.
He said, I just talked to a detective and I want to be the first to tell you. I was having an affair on you and the girl is missing and they say I'm the last person to be seen with this girl.
Jasmine had been in a relationship with Rashawn for years, and she always suspected he was cheating.
Tiara was the last straw.
I sacrificed so much in our relationship and he turns around and he messes with a little 19-year-old girl.
She's through ignoring his behavior and through protecting him.
Jasmine told the detectives that Rashawn had lied to them. He didn't come home at all the night that Tiara went missing.
Probably about 4 o'clock in the morning. This was my last time calling before I went to sleep. I called and he's still telling me I'm on my way, I'll be there in a second.
Jasmine tells the police he finally showed up the next morning.
He was just covered in mud, thick mud all on his face. What is going on?
Jasmine said that instead of telling her, Rashawn threw his clothes in the washing machine and took a shower.
I was like, I don't want to know, do I? He was like, no. He was like, you don't.
Whatever Rashawn was up to, Jasmine was over it.
She had had enough, and she decided to kick him out.
But as Rashawn was leaving, Jasmine says he said something that caught her off guard.
It came out of nowhere.
He asked me, he said, do you think Sandusky's further enough?
Did he mean far enough to bury a body?
I didn't ask why. I didn't want to know.
Investigators in Cleveland, Ohio have learned from Rashawn Hunt's ex-fiancé that he was gone all night after hooking up with 19-year-old Tierra Bryant on the day she disappeared.
The girl went missing the same day he didn't come home. Not stupid. I'm putting all this stuff together.
Jasmine says that when Rashawn finally arrived the next morning, it was clear that something unusual had happened.
He was covered in mud. He had scratches on his face.
And something he said to her was even more suspicious.
He asked me, he said, do you think Sandusky's further enough?
The police had already gotten an anonymous tip that Tierra's body had been buried in Sandusky. If the tip was true, Rashawn's question was practically a confession.
For detectives, the next step is to subpoena Rashawn's phone records.
They were able to use the records to track the location of his cell phone the night Tierra disappeared.
They see that after leaving a motel, he drives around for a while and then goes to a local grocery store.
When detectives receive video from the store's security cameras, they see their suspect's car pulling into the parking lot.
A camera showed Rashawn's car pulling up and a man getting out and going into the store.
There's a guy coming in and out of the store. He had purchased a huge plastic bin.
There's only one problem. The man isn't Rashawn.
They were trying to figure out who this guy is that was hanging out with Rashawn.
Rashawn's phone records give them a possible answer.
The records showed that before he was at the store, Rashawn had called a man named Emmett Love, who turned out to be Rashawn's cousin.
Detectives immediately bring Emmett in for an interview.
He said yes. Rashawn stopped by my house around 11 o'clock that evening to pick me up.
Rashawn said he'd just broken up with his fiancée.
He told Emmett that Jasmine kicked him out of the house.
Emmett said they drove around talking about it for a while, then Rashawn took him home.
Suspecting Emmett isn't telling the whole truth, detectives press him.
There's only one minor thing that I did not mention. That night, I asked him, I said, what happened? What's wrong? I remember him saying that somebody possibly tried to rob him.
Rashawn had told him that someone had tried to rob him, and that his eyes were red, like someone had tried to mace him.
But detectives think the robbery story was an attempt to cover up what really happened.
I think your cousin killed this girl. And I think, unfortunately, he threw you right in the middle of this.
But how can he throw me in the middle of it?
Police let Emmett know, we saw you on the surveillance camera. And that's when Emmett opens up.
He admits that Rashawn asked him to go into the store to buy a large storage bin.
He said he needed a plastic container so he can carry his clothes from Jasmine's house.
But the detectives don't believe the bin was for Rashawn's clothes.
Jasmine had no idea about the affair at that time, so they hadn't even split yet. This was an attempt by Rashawn to explain why he needed such a large tote.
I wonder what could fit in that container. It certainly wasn't clothes.
Still, Emmett insists Rashawn never told him he killed Tierra.
He just was distraught about his living situation.
To police, it looked like Rashawn was the man responsible for Tierra's disappearance.
But they aren't ready to make an arrest.
Without a body, without any proof, it's hard to actually pin it on them. The case goes cold for about 2 years.
But detectives never stop looking for evidence.
The detectives were still trying to convince the Cuyahoga County prosecutors to actually move forward with the case and prosecute Rashawn.
They talked to anyone else who had any kind of involvement, and then they compile their evidence and take it to the DA's office.
Eventually, their persistence pays off.
Prosecutors agreed to move forward with charges against Rashawn.
Detectives now have a warrant for his arrest, if they can find him.
Detectives talked to Rashawn's family and friends, and they had learned he had left Cleveland not long after he was questioned about Tierra.
He moved to Sacramento, California.
And on the night of June 20th, 2017, Sacramento police take Rashawn into custody.
The local police had tracked down the car he was driving, and they made the arrest while he was sitting in his car in an alley.
Driver, step out. Put your hands up in the air. It's all right. Be cool. Step to the back of the car.
While Rashawn's extradition to Ohio makes its way through the courts, Cleveland detectives fly to California to interrogate him.
The investigators laid out for Rashawn the evidence they had against him.
Everything that they had was circumstantial, but they thought they would push the envelope and see what happened.
Under questioning, Rashawn sticks to the same story he told 2 years earlier.
They interrogate him for several hours, and nothing.
But detectives sense something behind his answers. Remorse.
He knew that he had done something wrong.
They decided to give him a break, just 20 minutes by himself.
And when the interview resumes, everything changes.
They finally got him to admit to what he did.
But it's not what they expected to hear.
We have sex or whatever, so I proceed into the restroom. And as I'm walking out, she comes from behind here. I turned right into it, and her hand was up. As I'm turning, she maced me.
He tells the police that it was an accident.
I did grab her by the neck, all right? But it was the only thing I knew how to stop this attack.
He said he was just trying to protect himself.
He tells the police that it was self-defense.
What are you doing?
After 2 years of investigating the disappearance of Tierra Bryant, Cleveland detectives have traveled to Sacramento, California to arrest Rashawn Hunt for her murder. But now Rashawn has told them that he killed Tierra in self-defense.
Rashawn said he went to a motel with Tierra, and after they had sex, she suddenly attacked him.
He goes to the bathroom and he comes out and Tierra maces him.
When she maced me, it went in my mouth, it went in my eyes.
And what Tierra said was just as alarming.
She said, "We here to rob." I pushed her back, and I'm just trying to stop her now.
He can't see, he's struggling with Tierra. She's hitting him. He grabs her and holds her in a chokehold.
And he kept squeezing until she stopped struggling.
Rashawn told detectives that once Tierra stopped fighting with him, he went back to the bathroom to try to wash the mace out of his eyes.
I grabbed all the towels, and I'm wiping in cold water.
After he recovered, he went back to confront Tierra.
Tierra? Tierra, wake up!
He realizes she stopped moving.
I'm trying to wake her up, like, "Tierra, wake up." Now, at this point, I see that she's, like, gone.
He also realized he was an ex-con in a motel room with a dead girl.
He freaks out. He's pretty sure no one is going to believe this story.
So, he decided he had to get rid of the body.
That's when he gets in contact with his cousin Emmett to go to the store, pick up the plastic bin.
Rashawn insisted that his cousin Emmett Love didn't know the real reason he needed the storage bin. And he took Emmett home before he went back to the motel.
Rashawn says he then put Tierra's body into the bin by himself.
Was that hard to do?
Yes, ma'am. It was one of the hardest, toughest things I ever had to do.
Rashawn loaded the bin into his car, drove to an isolated location between Cleveland and Sandusky, dragged the bin out of his car, and buried her.
Investigators find his story suspiciously convenient.
The detectives knew from experience that a suspect who can no longer deny the responsibility of a crime will often try to blame the victim.
But one thing does support Rashawn's account, something his cousin Emmett told the police.
Emmett has said Rashawn mentioned that he had been maced and his eyes were red and watery.
Could Rashawn be telling the truth? Did Tierra try to rob him? Investigators hope her friend Regina Fleming can give them the answer.
When they returned to Cleveland, police reached back out to Regina to find out more about what happened that night.
One of your colleagues.
And they're shocked by what she tells them.
She did admit to police that Tierra's intentions were to rob Rashawn because he was a well-known drug dealer. He carried thousands of dollars on him.
Regina tells the detectives she tried to talk her friend out of it.
I called her and said, Tierra, listen to me. Do not go and try to rob that dude because a person will kill you for trying to take something from them. And she giggled and laughed, said, you're not gonna do nothing to me.
Despite her misgivings, Regina agreed to meet Tierra after the robbery.
Regina only wanted to pick Tierra up from the hotel to make sure that she was safe.
Regina says that when Tierra failed to show up, she wasn't sure what to do.
He calling the police, telling the police, oh, my friend is in there. She told me she was going around, but now she ain't answering. They kicked down the door and they in there having sex. I'm gonna be looking stupid.
And there was another reason she wasn't completely honest with the police in the first place.
Well, let me ask you this. Why didn't you want to tell us this before?
I was scared I'm gonna get in trouble for her actions.
Thanks to Regina's statement, the central element of Rashawn's story is confirmed by the time he's extradited to Ohio. So there's only one thing left to do before detectives can close the case.
Police asked him where Tierra's body was located.
Rashawn reluctantly takes detectives on a search for the spot where he'd buried her.
It's tough, guys. It's tough.
You can do it, John. We need this.
We need this.
After 2 years, it's not just tough emotionally.
No!
It took days of searching.
In the end, detectives find the overgrown mound that marks Tierra's grave.
Police were able to go back and tell Tierra's family that Tierra's body had been located.
It wasn't the answer I wanted, but some people have children that are missing and never get to find out where they are. I was able to find my daughter and have closure.
With a body and a confession, the district attorney is able to bring the case to a close.
Because he had cooperated with police, telling them where her body was located and what happened the night that Tierra disappeared, he was able to plead guilty to a lower charge.
But the reduced charges still carry a stiff penalty.
He was convicted of voluntary manslaughter, obstruction of justice, and abuse of a corpse. He was sentenced to 23 years.
We were able to accept that as justice.
Still, it's a small consolation for all that her family has gone through.
They could have given him 1,000 years, and that wouldn't have brought Tierra back.
At 19, Tierra Bryant had made the kind of bad decision that teenagers often make.
At such a young age, there's so many different things that will influence a person's behavior.
Like most teenagers, Tierra probably admired the girls she saw on social media who had money and the freedom money could bring.
You think that you're invincible, and you're not. There's repercussions for your actions. There's consequences.
And she paid the ultimate price for trying to take advantage of Rashawn Hunt.
Bad choices shouldn't be a death sentence.
Instead of her mistakes, Tierra's family remembers the beautiful young woman she was.
I want people to know that my sister wasn't a bad person. My sister was loving, she was caring.
She loved her family, and I believe she would have wanted to make us proud.
For more than a decade, they built a life rooted in faith and family.
She was a smart woman. She loved her kids. She was family oriented.
He was so charismatic.
He also was a man of faith.
Well, God said we got to clean your filth.
But in a split second, their future was torn away in an act of violence.
I need somebody here, please. I need somebody here. Oh, Jesus.
It was unbelievable what happened.
It seemed not even like a nightmare. It wasn't real.
Imagine having 2 fully involved relationships for 10 years.
Double life. That's a double life.
Did betrayal lead to a desperate plot?
She wanted him all to herself.
Or was there a hidden serpent lurking in the garden?
The story starts to unravel.
When everything is said and done, people always know the truth.
Everything was a lie from the very beginning.
Just to see that many people being manipulated at one time, it's just evil.
June 2015. It's a balmy summer in Macon, a mid-sized city located 85 miles south of Atlanta and known as the heart of Georgia.
It's very affordable, a great place to raise a family.
It's not too country, it's not too city. I think it's the perfect blend.
But just after midnight on June 12th, the quiet city is jolted by an urgent call to the Bibb County Sheriff's Office from local pastor William Pounds.
What's the emergency?
Ma'am, my girlfriend, she shot herself in the head. I need an ambulance, please. I need somebody here.
Yes, sir. I can get them en route for you, okay? But I need you to try to calm down for me.
Oh, Jesus.
On the 911 call, William is panicking and Kendra is in dire need of medical attention.
She's not breathing.
Okay. She's
not breathing. I'm gonna try to do CPR on her.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4,
3,
1,
4,
2,
5,
3,
6,
4,
7,
1,
8,
2,
9,
3.
As William fights to keep Kendra alive, first responders race to the scene. Every second is critical.
As the minutes tick by, Kendra's chances of survival grow dimmer.
For as long as anyone could remember, 46-year-old Kendra Jackson had been a beacon of light in her community.
Kendra was a sweetheart. When she showed up, she brought the sun with her.
People loved her. They say that she was a good mix of sassy and classy.
When you say classy, you say Kendra. You just knew she was gonna look her best, speak her best, present her best at all times.
The daughter of a reverend, Kendra was raised in a devoutly religious household alongside her 3 siblings.
Growing up in a Christian home, especially when your parents are involved in preaching, it can have a big influence on you, and there's a lot of pressure to always do your best.
That kind of defined her trajectory in life.
And nothing in Kendra's life was more important to her than motherhood.
Kendra got married at a young age. Her and her husband had 3 kids.
But the relationship between Ms. Jackson and her husband was not as strong as they had hoped, and they ended up growing apart and divorced.
In the years following the divorce, Kendra worked hard to give her children a good upbringing.
Okay, great.
She was very loving towards her kids. Her kids were the priority.
I'll take care of that for you.
She was able to eventually find a good job as a personal banker. She had a part-time job working in a jewelry store.
I'm like, girl, why are you working 2 jobs? Because she was trying to take care of people.
Yeah, a little baby girl.
If anyone could handle the stress of motherhood and work, it was Kendra.
Taken care of.
We call her Michelle Obama. Like if she was having a bad day, she would have the classiest bad day ever. She was always in mama mode and let me make it better for you mode.
Kendra was the total package. So it seemed only a matter of time before a new suitor came knocking.
She's maintained her faith that God would provide her a good man.
Can I help you?
Yes, I have some questions about my bank account there.
Okay, let me take a look.
William Pounds was a prominent preacher, and he was also a senior master sergeant in the Air Force.
If he was to walk in, he would immediately grab your attention. He's a good-looking man. He was always well-dressed, well-mannered.
The two of them quickly hit it off.
I hate to be forward, but you mind joining me for dinner on Friday?
I'd like that.
He had, a great resume. He also was a man of faith, which immediately resonated with Kendra.
Within a short period of time, Kendra was smitten, and then when she saw him preach, her love grew even bigger.
But God said we got to clean your filth. You still got some dirt on your nails. But even though you have dirt on your nails, he died. Yeah, before you got your engine running like new, he died.
He was so charismatic.
His congregation loved and adored him.
He was able to breathe his own passion into the Word of God, and Kendra found that absolutely inspiring.
To Kendra, it felt like William could be the one, but she had no intention of racing to the altar.
Kendra's first marriage failed, and she was cautious about running into this one, so her and William took it slow.
This is a new person that you're introducing into your world, your children's world.
They dated more than 12 years.
I think game night went well with the kid.
It did. We should do it again sometime.
He was safe for her, and he was her nice guy. And he created that story for her.
In 2012, William finally popped the question.
Well, I was thinking about doing this somewhere a bit more romantic, but Kendra Jackson, will you marry me?
Yes. In that moment, she was like, okay, this is the one. This is the man that God sent to me.
See?
Kendra thought all of her dreams were coming true.
But now, a few short years later, the couple's future has been hurled into doubt.
Instead of walking down the aisle, Kendra is barely clinging to life.
William was on the phone with 911 and told investigators that she shot herself in the head.
Damn it, Kendra, why you want to do this to me?
When first responders arrive on the scene, William leads them to the bedroom.
She's over here.
They find her collapsed on the floor in a pool of her own blood.
The first responders immediately jump into action.
The paramedics tried to apply first aid.
Every attempt was made to resuscitate her, but eventually it was clear that it was too late.
Kendra was dead.
For more than a decade, Macon pastor William Pounds had been Kendra Jackson's rock.
William was her handsome knight in shining armor. He was charismatic. He said all the right things.
She was planning a wedding to, a man that she loved.
Until a bullet to the head severed their bond forever.
The paramedics tried to apply first aid, but it became too late.
Kendra was dead.
When investigators from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office arrive on the scene, they step aside with Kendra's grieving fiancé.
Sir, I'm sorry for your loss. Do you think you're up to walking us through what happened?
Yeah, I can do that.
Mr. Pound said it started off as a normal day. Him and Kendra and the kids had spent quality time together.
They all had dinner together, and then Kendra drove the kids over to their father's house.
Hurry back.
Kendra returned to the home around 10 p.m.
She came back. Him and her got into bed.
They are watching a basketball game and starting to discuss some of the details of their relationship.
Kendra started pressing him on a date for the marriage.
We've been engaged for a while now. I think it's time that we should start planning the wedding.
She wants her wedding because the whole world around her and William's relationship expects this to happen. Because that is the Christian thing to do.
He told her that he wasn't ready to get married, and she didn't respond well to that.
What do you mean you're not ready? We've been together for like 15 years.
He really loved Kendra, but after so many years, he had felt the relationship had run its course.
William tells investigators that when he broached the subject of ending their relationship, Kendra started to spiral.
All the years that she has invested in their relationship, she feels like she had wasted her time.
Kendra, calm down. We can talk.
Don't tell me to calm down!
He says that she flew into a rage.
Kendra grabbed the handgun off the dresser drawer.
And he thought that she would shoot him.
But instead, Kendra turned the gun on herself.
William told investigators that she shot herself in the left side of the head.
Oh my God!
He goes, attempts to resuscitate, he attempts to do whatever he can.
William said he hurried up and rushed to her side to control the bleeding as he dialed 911.
2, 3, 4.
To the detectives, William looks like a broken man.
He just explained he witnessed his fiancée committing suicide, and that's not an easy thing to cope with.
Thank you.
With any death like this, they have to perform an investigation. But in the case of suicide, it's typically just a formality.
The crime scene has the appearance of a suicide. The victim is lying on the floor with a gun in close proximity. The blood is in the appropriate area. The gunshot appears to match up with the scenario provided by Mr. Pounds.
They did find an entry on the wall from the gunshot wound to her head.
But then investigators discover something else that piques their interest. A second bullet hole.
Looks like another bullet hole into the bed.
Sure does.
So this strikes investigators as odd because based on Williams' recitation of events, she only fired one bullet.
However, detectives know that a traumatic event can play tricks on a witness's mind.
When you have so much adrenaline and stuff rushing through your body, sometimes you can't account for what really happened during that time.
We might have what we call auditory exclusion, which really lessens a person's ability to hear in chaotic situations.
Also, with many suicide attempts, some may fire a practice shot before they work up the courage to turn the gun on themselves.
Having completed their preliminary examination, detectives hand the scene over to their forensic team.
Now, Bibb County investigators have to face the difficult decision of notifying Kendra's loved ones.
Kendra's teenage daughters are with their father.
The children, her ex-husband, are all shocked that Kendra had taken her own life.
Suicide? Are you sure?
It was disbelief, because there was no prior indication that Kendra would be susceptible to committing suicide.
There has to be another explanation. Our mom would never hurt herself.
The family did not believe that suicide was the cause of her death.
They're convinced there has to be more to this story.
Something's not right with it. And your gut is always right.
Detectives in Macon, Georgia have learned that moments before Kendra Jackson allegedly committed suicide, her fiancé, William Pounds, called off their engagement.
He was starting to have some second thoughts about the future of them as a couple.
William said that she grabbed his .40 caliber pistol, shot herself in the head.
But now Kendra's loved ones are telling the investigators they find that story hard to believe.
There's no way our mom killed herself.
They didn't believe that she would take her own life.
The family was adamant because It was outside of her character and also her faith.
What about warning signs? Did your mom seem depressed lately?
No, not at all.
Amen.
Kendra's daughters tell investigators they spent the previous day with their mother and William.
They said they didn't feel anything out of the ordinary.
And there was even cause to celebrate because Kendra's youngest daughter had just landed a new job.
They had dinner together to celebrate, and then she dropped them off to their father's house to spend the night.
Kendra made plans the next day to spend time with her daughter and go shopping. It just didn't line up.
Kendra's daughters also echo what William said in his statement. The couple wasn't in agreement about their impending wedding.
He just kept pushing back the wedding.
William and Kendra got engaged in 2012. They initially had planned on getting married in 2014. And when the date came around, William encouraged the couple to push it back even further.
Mr. Pound's explanation for the delay was financial issues.
The couple bickered about it. They had, small discussions. Nothing ever rose to the level of thinking that Kendra would take her life behind it.
By the end of the interview, investigators consider that Kendra Jackson's death may not be an open and shut case.
The fact that her loved ones, the people closest to Kendra, were so adamant that this could not be, that leads investigators to reassess the facts.
Could there be more to the story?
When detectives receive the results of Kendra's autopsy, even more questions rise to the surface.
Mr. Pounds told detectives that Kendra shot herself in the left side of the head, but the autopsy clearly disputed that. The evidence showed that she had shot herself in the right side.
Of course, adrenaline was running high. So maybe that was an explanation.
However, like the earlier finding that not one, but 2 bullets were fired inside the couple's bedroom, it's another inconsistency in William's version of events.
Had the chaos played tricks on William's memory, or is the story not adding up?
Police asked William to come into the station for a follow-up interview.
Appreciate you coming in on short notice.
Of course. Anything I can do to help.
William was cooperative and he seemed willing to assist in the investigation.
The night Kendra shot herself, tell me again what you saw.
He tells them again about their argument and how she got up and grabbed the gun from their dresser drawer.
William just concretely says she shot herself on the left side of her head. Now, the investigators know from coroner evidence that that is not true.
At that point, Mr. Pound's story starts to unravel.
Your version of events doesn't line up with the evidence. There were 2 shots fired in that bedroom.
Well, I only remember 1 shot.
Did you alter the scene in any way?
No.
That's when investigators asked William a point-blank question.
Did you shoot Kendra?
Absolutely not.
Despite the inconsistencies in his story, William maintains that Kendra's death was a suicide. But before investigators end the interview, he drops a bombshell.
He tells police officers that he was in another relationship.
Because I'm engaged.
He was engaged to someone else, as well as Kendra.
During an interview with police in Macon, Georgia, William Pounds has just made a stunning confession. The 47-year-old pastor tells detectives he called off his wedding with Kendra Jackson because he was engaged to another woman.
This information comes as a huge surprise to investigators.
Who's gonna believe that a pastor is engaged to 2 women? Not even believe. Who's gonna even suspect?
According to William, the other woman in his life is a police officer who lives 45 minutes away in Atlanta.
What's her name?
Sierra Brinkley.
It's a discovery that forces the investigators to rethink everything they thought they knew. Could Sierra Brinkley be involved in Kendra's death?
Maybe she wanted William all to, herself.
The fact that she was a police officer, she had access to a weapon that might help her facilitate this type of crime.
Sierra agrees to drive down from Atlanta to meet detectives at the Macon Police Department for an interview.
She confirms that yes, she and William, they are engaged.
She reveals to detectives that they had actually been together for over 10 years.
You said 10 years?
That's right.
I mean, that was like wow.
Double life. That's my first thoughts. That's a double life.
Imagine having two fully involved relationships happening an hour away from each other for 10 years. The level of coordination, the level of secrecy that you must maintain.
You're trying to satisfy two people. You're trying to take care of two homes.
As an investigator, when it comes to Sierra, we want to look, when did she become aware that Kendra existed? Where was she at the time this incident happened?
According to Sierra, Kendra's existence was no secret.
What William had told Sierra is that Kendra was an ex, that they had been broken up, separated for years.
I thought that was the truth up until a few weeks ago.
One day, Sierra decided to drive down to Macon and surprise William at his house.
When Sierra popped up at William's house, unannounced, Kendra's there.
Sierra asked her, what are you doing here?
What do you mean, what am I doing here? Who the hell are you?
Kendra held up her finger with a wedding ring on it and said that they was engaged to get married.
So what did you do next?
I confronted William.
Wait, no. Go upstairs. I'll handle this. Go upstairs.
What is going on?
Let me explain.
William promises to Sierra that things are over with Kendra.
Look, she just came over to pick up some stuff. Our relationship, it's over. Come on. Don't give me that look. You're my only girl and my soon-to-be wife. Okay?
He says they can start preparing for their marriage by going to premarital counseling, hopefully to resolve some of the issues around honesty and fidelity.
And you agreed to go to counseling?
Yes, I did.
They were due to be married on June 12th, and that was the exact same day that Kendra died.
But as investigators know, instead of walking down the aisle with Sierra, William spent that evening with Kendra.
When she found out that William hadn't ended things with Kendra, Sierra could have flown into a jealous rage.
Did you do it and now William is covering up for you?
When investigators pose that question to Sierra, she immediately denies any involvement in Kendra's death.
Of course, Sierra says no. The last time she was even at William's house was on June 5th, a full week before the incident happened.
As police work on verifying Sierra's statement, detectives receive the completed report from the CSI technicians who processed William's home. And their findings are eye-opening.
When detectives had initially walked through the crime scene, they noticed a bullet hole in the wall, but despite exhaustive searching, the CSI was not able to recover the bullet.
What happened to that bullet that was in there, and why was it pried out of the wall?
The forensic team also failed to recover the second bullet that went through the mattress, or either shell casings.
A closer examination of the comforter and mattress revealed more alarming evidence.
They could tell by the way that the bullet had passed through the comforter that the comforter had been moved after the shots were fired. The bed had apparently been remade in an effort to conceal the bullet hole in the mattress and the comforter and the sheets.
Somebody had tampered with the scene.
The trajectory of the bullet that killed Kendra raises an even bigger red flag.
There was no way that Kendra was standing when she allegedly shot herself in the head. The evidence points to her being on the ground.
Based on these new findings, investigators feel confident that Kendra was murdered.
These are no longer discrepancies that you can attribute to faulty memory. So police believe that William has been lying. He's trying to protect himself or his other woman.
When investigators listen to the 911 call William made on the night of Kendra's death, they make yet another chilling discovery.
You still there with me? Sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
They noticed that Mr. Pounds muted his end of the call 3 to 4 times.
Hey, partner?
Why would a person in the process of administering first aid CPR mute his call?
1, 2, 3. You still there with me? Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, you hear that?
Play that back.
Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
When he unmuted the phone call, you can hear the toilet flushing in the background.
If you are doing CPR, then how are we hearing the flush? What's really going on?
As Macon investigators listen to the 911 call local pastor William Pounds made on the night he alleges his fiancée Kendra Jackson committed suicide, they notice a curious noise in the background.
You still there with me? Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You can hear the toilet flushing in the background.
They suspected that toilet flushing noise could actually be William flushing down the bullet and the shell casings.
When detectives follow up with the paramedics who responded that night, they poke even more holes in William's story.
William told 911 operators that he performed CPR on Kendra before first responders arrived. But first responders, they said there was no sign of blood on William's clothes, except for a couple tiny specks on his pants.
With the amount of blood on the scene, his hands and his lower shirt should have been covered in blood.
The first responders go on to say that William told them something else in those first frantic minutes.
Their story they got from Mr. Pounds was different than the story that Mr. Pounds told the detective.
He said that he was downstairs and then he heard the gunshot go off upstairs, and then that's when he ran upstairs.
William told them that he had to kick the door in order to get to Kendra. There was no evidence that the door had been kicked in at all.
As red flags pile up, detectives also start to hear from Kendra's closest confidants. They all agree that her decade-plus relationship with William was nothing short of a roller coaster.
Kendra's friends explained to investigators that William was not this perfect fiancé, perfect man.
William was a liar, he was a manipulator.
He knew he was good looking and he had the gift of gab. I think he felt as though that was a calling card for him to get into any door he wanted to.
She had caught him cheating on multiple occasions.
Who is this?
Kendra.
Who is she?
Phone.
Who is this?
Stop.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, okay? You know how much I love you. It won't happen again.
To their dismay, friends say Kendra stayed with William despite his philandering behavior.
Even when she knew it was broken, she loved enough to be able, I can put it back together, I can fix it. She really believed that.
Jesus reminds us to forgive.
It's almost like, you know, when somebody's in a Ponzi scam and they keep putting their money into it, and you don't want to tell them not to, but you kind of want to take their checking account. But she kept depositing and he kept taking.
She's already experienced divorce. So maybe Kendra was thinking, I don't want to start over.
Don't worry.
Friends say the couple's engagement offered Kendra a fleeting moment of happiness.
She was proud of her ring, but I think that's all she had, was that ring. It was a shallow happiness.
They would discuss a wedding date, and he would move it or come up with some type of excuse.
Anything that he said was a lie. All of it was a lie. And every day it was killing her. Every day it was taking more of Kendra from Kendra. And she loved so hard that she put blinders on and couldn't even see that she was being stripped from herself.
However, in the past month, friends say Kendra had stopped wearing her engagement ring.
After Kendra found out about Sierra, that felt like the last straw.
Now, not only have you been played by a fool, but you've been playing the fool.
Kendra was done at this point.
In the course of their interviews, detectives learned that William's affair with Sierra Brinkley wasn't the only one.
The investigation reveals that William had been seen about 5 separate women.
He was stringing them all along, telling each of them that they were the love of his life.
It was disgusting.
When authorities received Sierra Brinkley's phone records, William's last defense finally crumbles.
She was in Atlanta. She was nowhere near Macon when this took place.
She was not at the scene of the crime when it happened.
On August 21st, 2015, Bibb County Sheriff's investigators charged William Pounds with malice murder, felony murder, and aggravated assault.
William was arrested for Kendra's murder, and he was calm and maintained his innocence.
The family finally has this moment where they can breathe and they have a sense of relief.
But that feeling of relief doesn't last long.
His bond was $500,000. That's a lot. But he reached out to his congregation.
On September 15th, at William's bond hearing, his congregation shows up and rallies around him.
Pastors in the faith community are revered because they are delivering the word of God every week. People truly believe they are instruments of the divine. And so the initial reaction for a lot of people is denial.
They was like, no, he didn't do this. And they went ahead and bonded him out.
Within weeks of his arrest, William is back on the street as a free man.
For Kendra's loved ones, it's an ominous sign of things to come.
It just goes to show just how powerful he is. He feels invincible.
It's almost like he's gotten away with it. He was so charismatic. He tricked them, too.
If I never had a problem, if I never had conflict.
He is the instrument of God. They can't let God go to jail.
Then I wouldn't know how to go to the manufacturer.
By the fall of 2015, Macon police have charged Kendra Jackson's fiance, William Pounds, with killing her and staging it as a suicide.
William is a respected, beloved pastor, so the congregation is quick to rally money to get him released.
They felt like he was wrongfully accused.
They paid his bond and allowed him to get back out on the street.
Backed by a devoted flock of believers, prosecutors feel that William's conviction is no sure thing.
It can be hard to overcome a defendant's image, especially when someone is seen upright and moral.
In the eyes of the public, William Pounds is a pillar in his community. And so it's gonna be difficult to convince a jury that he's actually a liar, cheater, and a murderer.
But as the trial date approaches, prosecutors receive a helping hand from an unexpected source: William himself.
As a condition of his bond, Mr. Pounds had to wear an ankle monitor so his whereabouts could be monitored. He had restrictions.
He's approved to go to places that, a normal person would need to go. The doctor's office, the grocery store, his home.
However, the powerful pastor has no intention of following the rules.
He was breaking his bond conditions. He was drinking, he was going out to parties like nothing never happened.
Kendra's gone, this sweetheart. These two daughters now don't have a mother. So many people affected. And the nerve of him to celebrate anything ever again in life.
He was clearly violating the conditions of his bond, and he was rearrested.
This is when the congregation started to realize that this is not the church-going man that they all thought he was.
Just to see that many people being manipulated at one time, it's just evil. I felt bad for the people.
When William's trial begins in October 2017, he still remains confident that his pious image will carry him through to a not guilty verdict.
William enters the courtroom with a Bible in his hand.
He's still keeping up with this persona that he's created.
But prosecutors aren't having it.
They contend that William's mountain of lies can prove that he's the killer.
Prosecutors tell the jury that on the night of June 12, 2015, William and Kendra got into an argument.
I noticed you ain't been wearing that ring I gave you.
You damn right I haven't.
Based on the statements from her friends, prosecutors believe that Kendra was done with William.
Why would I wear the ring of a man who's engaged to another woman?
As simmering resentments bubbled to the surface, the couple's argument intensified.
Prosecutors believe that Kendra, having seen William's web of lies firsthand, was going to expose him for a fraud, a liar, a manipulator.
That's right. I'm going to tell the entire congregation that their pastor is a damn hypocrite.
You know what?
And so instead of taking responsibility for his actions, investigators say that he opted to silence her altogether.
What are you gonna tell now?
What are you doing?
What are you gonna tell now?
What are you doing?
We're not doing anything. Where are you going?
William took his military-issued pistol and fired 2 shots. One that went through the bed and another that went through Kendra's head.
Once Kendra was dead, Mr. Pounds immediately tried to stage the scene so it appeared that Kendra had committed suicide. Mr. Pounds retrieved the bullet from the wall, retrieved the casing from the floor. He took both items into the bathroom and flushed them down the toilet.
Once the jury retires to deliberate, it doesn't take them long to return with their verdict.
William Pounds was found guilty of malice murder, felony murder, and aggravated assault.
William was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole.
It's a victory for the dedicated investigators who worked tirelessly to bring William to justice. But for Kendra's loved ones, the conviction falls short of healing their wounds.
I don't think there's any amount of time that he could do to repair the pain and the hurt and the brokenness. That doesn't bring Kendra back.
It takes a unique kind of manipulator to prey on so many women.
Bodies found inside a car. The challenge was going to be who else was in that vehicle and what happened.
Everything inside this car and outside this car matters. It's time to get to work.
Detectives?
When Quinn and I roll up on scene, we see a gold Mercury Marquis parked on the curb. We see the first responding officer, so now we know what we got to do.
Break it down for us. The lady that lives here called it in. This sister was just trying to back out and go to work, and she finds her driveway obstructed. She says she didn't want to speak to the driver, so she called it in as a suspicious vehicle. And when I got here, I opened the door, found him unresponsive.
All right, let's see what we have.
We have to look at exactly what happened inside this vehicle. So our victim is buckled into the passenger seat. He's slumped over.
It looks like we have a pressed contact wound behind the left ear.
When a gun is pressed up against skin and is fired into it, you usually see striations, little cuts around the hole. And that's exactly what we saw in this victim. This was an execution.
All right, well, he still got his seatbelt on. So somebody caught this young man by surprise.
I see a .40 caliber shell casing on the floorboard in the front of the car. There's absolutely no doubt that this victim was shot inside of this vehicle.
Look, check it out, Vinny. You see that blood smear right there?
Mm-hmm.
But look, you see it on the driver's side door, too.
Yep.
With the smear, you can tell as this person up front exited, that's clear evidence that they got out the car.
All right, so maybe the driver is the killer.
I don't think so. He was behind him.
And the fact that this wound is to the back of his head on his left side, more than likely, the killer was sitting in the back seat. As far as evidence goes, there's just three main things that we're focused on right now. Our victim in the seat, the shell casing on the floor, and the blood spatter, which really paints, ironically, a picture of what happened to this victim.
All right, let's see if we can find out who he is.
So the first thing we're trying to look for is an ID. We clearly see this victim has no wallet in his pocket.
Nothing.
Maybe that's our motive, though, right? Robbery?
We got to appreciate the fact that that's what we're dealing with here. Somebody went in crazy, shot a victim, and just took all his loot.
Hold on. Got a cell phone.
Bingo. Okay, that could be huge. Find out who this young man been talking to.
We may find out not just who he is, but the killer's number or the killer's name may be in his phone.
Could we make sure we give this car a full once-over?
We had them start dusting for prints and looking for anything that, their trained eye can find and then get back to us.
Thanks, TJ.
We talked to the homeowner that made the 911 call, and she doesn't recall anything throughout the night that was significant.
We need to talk to the neighbors because we need to know what they may have seen.
How you doing? So, I'm Detective Velasquez. We're with the Atlanta Police Department.
So Quinn and I knock on the door right next to the 911 caller.
What's going on?
Matt Byers is a homeowner. So we tell him, looks like we have a homicide that occurred.
Hey, look, did you see or hear anything strange last night?
Last night, between 11 and 12, I heard an engine. Went to my window and saw a car, and in it was about 3 people.
We already think we're looking for 2 people in the car with our victim, and now the neighbor, Matt Byers, basically confirms the roll call of 3 people.
Now, I assumed that they were friends with this neighbor.
Okay. Did you hear a gunshot?
No.
So we got to consider, did our homicide even happen here?
All right, did you get a good look at any of them?
It's kind of dark to see anything. Honestly, I only peeked out just a few seconds and I went on back to bed.
He didn't really think of anything suspicious or sinister happening outside of his house that night.
Hear anything else or anything strange goes on, let us know, okay?
So we thank Mr. Byers for his information. We keep knocking on doors, but we get nothing else. So right now, all we have is our 911 caller and Matt Byers seeing this car show up between 11 and 12. So that starts our timeline. At least we have something to start with. We're getting ready to leave the crime scene when a bystander catches our eye.
What's up, man?
We finally go over to the brother. He identifies himself as Alan Worley.
Another dead guy.
If he's telling the truth, that's great for us, because right now, he's still unidentified.
Okay. What's his name?
It's my man, Red. He hangs out on Cleveland Avenue.
That's not anywhere near our crime scene. That's on the other side of town.
What's Red's real name?
I don't know. That's all I got for you.
So now we're thinking, okay, if this truly is the person he knows as Red, what is Red doing all the way over here in Northwest Atlanta?
All right, wait a second, man. Let me get your information, all right?
I look down, and I immediately see this red spatter of some substance on his boot.
What's that on your shoe, man? Yeah, the red stuff right there.
I don't know.
We know we got blood spatter all inside this car. He could have changed, but nobody ever changes their boots. So we're thinking, Alan Worley may be our killer.
My man, these are brand new boots and you don't know what that stain is from?
No.
All right, so where were you last night?
I was at my cousin's house.
And we find out the family home is just 500 feet away from our crime scene.
I had nothing to do with the murder.
Okay. So you wouldn't mind if one of my people take a sample of whatever that is?
Go ahead.
I had the crime scene tech basically swab his boots right there in the crime scene. We got to wait on that to come back for DNA, but in the meantime, we let Alan Worley go. Our impression of Alan is he's on the hook until he's not on the hook anymore.
At this point, on day one of this investigation, we got nothing but question marks.
Velasquez. Really? All right, we're on the way. We gotta go. We got a witness from this case that's waiting for us at HQ.
Let's go.
Only a few hours in, we got a potential suspect and a witness back at the office. I'm awake now. I'm feeling this case.
How you doing?
This investigation will present one challenge after another.
What they look like?
I'm not really sure.
We have a star witness who actually didn't see a thing.
We'll need to try something totally outside the box.
Let us know if you recognize his voice.
We're gonna do something we've never done before.
Identifying the killer.
You recognize this guy?
Yeah.
This case was full of twists and turns. Will become a high-stakes game.
That's my brother.
We had the wrong guy.
Of cat and mouse.
Was Red's girl in on this?
Things just got way more complicated.
It looks like we have a press contact wound behind the left ear.
We're investigating the shooting death of a man found inside a parked car in northwest Atlanta.
Another dead guy.
A bystander named Alan Worley identified our victim in the vehicle as an individual he knows as Red.
What's that on your shoe, man?
Well, my partner points out what looks to be blood on the boots of this cat, Alan Worley. I mean, this could be our missing link.
We don't have anything to charge him with at this point, but right now he's definitely piqued our interest.
Velasquez. Really?
But as we're about to leave, we get a call from a fellow investigator about a witness who has information on our case.
Let's boogie.
So we race back to the office to speak with her. We meet with Detective Charlotte Viceroy.
Listen, I've been working a carjacking case since last night and believe the victim might be connected to your case.
Who is he?
Who is she? Camila Santos came in last night saying that her boyfriend was shot in her car.
This could line up with our case. It could be the same thing.
Really? Where?
Bonneville Terrace.
It's gotta be ours.
She's in the box.
Thanks, V.
So this witness should be able to tell us exactly what happened to our victim, and maybe she actually knows the killer.
So I'm Detective Velasquez. This is my partner, Detective Quinn.
What do you want me to say?
I immediately tune in that she's not acting the way a witness to her boyfriend getting murdered should act. So my suspicions are up right now on Camilla.
So tell us what happened, okay? Start at the very beginning.
I was with my boyfriend, Casimiro.
She tells us her boyfriend's name is Casimiro Ibarra. He's 20 years old.
He goes by Red.
What's his name?
That's my man, Red.
Alan Worley said he knew our victim in our car shot dead as being Red.
We're like, okay, this is great.
We were at my apartment getting ready. We had plans to go on a date. I'll be ready in 5.
She's getting dressed. He tells her, hey, we got to do something real quick before we go on our date.
We gotta make a pit stop.
For what?
I mean, we gotta meet some folks of mine.
Did he say why he wanted to meet them?
No.
So about 11:45, Camilla says they leave their apartment and go meet Red's folks. She says he actually makes her drive. And at some point during the trip, he passes the phone to her.
There was a guy who was giving me directions for where to meet them.
Where'd you go?
Maple Creek Apartments. I pulled up and there were 2 guys there.
There's 2 black guys that she's never seen before. They'll walk up to the car and jump in the back seat.
What'd they look like?
I'm not really sure. It was dark and I was driving.
What Camilla does say is the person that sat behind her while she was driving the vehicle had dreadlocks and had a heavy build.
One of them was the one I spoke to on the phone.
But most importantly, she recognized his voice when he started talking in the vehicle as the same person who was giving her directions to Maple Creek Apartments.
What about the other guy?
He was tall and thin.
Okay. Where'd you go?
We drove a few blocks and then, boom.
She immediately looks over and sees her boyfriend, Casimiro, slump over in the car.
The skinny guy told me to get out of the car now or I was next.
Camilla says she just jumps out of the driver's seat. And the guy with the dreads that was sitting behind her gets into the driver's seat and just drives away.
All right, why did they shoot your boyfriend?
No idea.
Okay. This doesn't make sense.
So either this thing has a story that we don't know about and the connection between the two people in the back seat and our victim, or Camilla's not telling us everything.
Did you find the money?
The money?
$1,000.
Camilla adds this last little nugget, and she tells us in Casimiro's pocket was $1,000 of her refund money from her income taxes. Think back to the crime scene when Vin's going through our victim's pockets, there's no cash.
Nothing.
This might be just a rip.
So these guys didn't ask about money?
While robbery seems like a viable motive, it still doesn't make sense. There's no conversation in the car, so my question is, how would they know that this victim had cash on him? There's something missing here.
Is it possible the prime suspect is actually sitting across from us?
I'm thinking Camilla may be involved in this homicide herself.
So were you and Casimiro beefing at all?
No,
Then why do you have your money with him?
I don't know.
All right, do you remember anything else from that night? Or the men that you picked up?
There was a blue car.
She said the only other thing she remembers is when they pulled into Maple Creek, these two guys were sitting on a blue car.
I assume it belonged to one of them.
We gotta figure out where that blue car is.
So I know this was hard. So thank you for speaking with us.
For now, we know we're gonna have to come back to Camilla. I mean, all the dots didn't get cleared up here, so we're gonna kick her loose and circle back to her later.
One of the first things we did was we subpoenaed Casimiro's cell phone records. We believe that would be the best way to ID the suspect.
While we're waiting on that, we had to track down this blue car.
Lucky for us, Detective Viceroy, she already had this information.
She had gone to Maple Creek Apartments, identified the vehicle, and gave us the VIN. So we popped that VIN in the system, and it came back registered to a girl named Jennifer Carl.
We're thinking she could be a girlfriend or family member of one of the suspects.
We contacted Jennifer, and she said she actually sold the vehicle to a lady named Valerie Mack on March 23rd.
Which is just 4 days before our homicide.
It was time to see what this woman knows.
Excuse me, miss. How you doing?
So we go right away. We hit up Valerie Mack. She lives at Maple Creek Apartments. Once we get there, she says, yeah, I did buy the car.
So we have a few questions about a homicide we're working.
You know, we want to know everything she knows about this car and maybe about these two guys that are missing.
Yeah, so where were you last night?
I was here all night.
And the car?
I didn't drive it, but I did notice something.
Valerie Mack says on the morning of the homicide, March 27th, she went outside to go to work and saw that someone had been sitting on the hood of her car.
There were like footprints on the hood.
So Camilla's story checks out.
Look, I don't know anything about these guys or a murder, I swear.
We realized at this point it's probably just a coincidence that these two guys were sitting on Valerie's car.
So if you think of anything else, give me a call.
In this situation, a dead end is called progress for me and Ben. We got to keep it moving, keep pumping, and see what's next in this case.
Quinn and I head back to the office, and we get a report left on our desk about the red substance on Alan Worley's shoes.
And we got the results on Worley's shoe from CSI.
Might be closing our case today, baby.
Nope. Results are negative. It's not blood.
And this is another dead end, but, you know, this is what we do in homicide.
So Worley's in the clear.
Yeah.
Quit like, damn. We thought Alan Worley was our man.
Velasquez.
We get a call from a woman named Monica Marley who claims to be our victim's other girlfriend.
Can you repeat that?
Casimiro was my man.
We got Camilla over here is in the car with our victim. She's giving us information. Now we got Monica calling another girlfriend.
Yo, this might be our motive right here, yo.
So you two were dating?
Yeah. We gotta think, did Camilla actually set up Red because he had another girlfriend?
Seen Camilla acting all sad.
You know her?
Yeah. Casimiro bounced back and forth.
They knew about each other. And in fact, when our victim would break up with Camilla, he would go stay with Monica. When him and Monica would break up, he'd go back to Camilla.
Okay, so do you have any idea who'd kill Casimiro?
Nah. I just figured it was part of the game.
The game? Casimiro was dealing drugs?
Yeah. He mostly sold weed over in the Cleveland Avenue area.
So now we have to consider a whole different aspect of this case.
Do you have any idea who'd kill Casimiro?
Nah. I just figured it was part of the game.
We've just learned an explosive piece of intel about our murder victim, Casimiro Ibarra.
Casimiro was dealing drugs?
Yeah.
Our investigation has shifted gears. Right now, we're almost certain the motive for our murder is drugs.
He mostly sold weed over in the Cleveland Avenue area.
We got to think back to Alan Worley from the crime scene.
It's my man Red. He hangs out on Cleveland Avenue.
So that corroborates this information.
Is there anything else you can add?
Nah.
Monica was a treasure trove of information. We now know our victim had $1,000 in his pocket, 2 unknown males in the back seat, and he's a drug dealer. It's starting to make sense now.
So this could be our motive. Could have been a drug lick, unpaid debt.
Revenge. It all goes hand in hand in the drug trade.
Mm-hmm.
We have to consider a whole different aspect of this case.
We still gotta check him out.
Yeah, for sure.
We're trying to figure out what our next move is gonna be.
I knew I'd find you two here.
What's up, Kat?
Our crime scene tech shows up and she's got some information for us.
I was able to pull some prints from the driver's side exterior of the vehicle.
Go ahead, girl.
This is totally unexpected. We never, ever get fingerprints.
I ran the prints and it came back to this guy, Eddie Wright.
If Eddie Wright's fingerprints in APHIS, he's gonna be somebody that's a frequent flyer getting arrested.
What do you think? It's one of our guys?
This could be the skinny one that was behind Casimiro.
Either way, he's got to explain these prints.
Right now, Eddie Wright goes to the top of the suspect list.
Thanks, Kat. This is awesome.
Anytime.
We need to speak with Eddie ASAP.
I got a good number for Eddie Wright. I give him a call. Eddie Wright was straight up and said, hey, man, I'm ready to talk to you about whatever you need. And within the hour, Eddie Wright's sitting in our office.
All right, man. We got to ask you some questions, and you got to tell some truth.
Yes, sir.
You recognize this guy?
Yeah, that's Red.
We know we're in the right territory. We got a connection between our victim and his car. I mean, it all makes sense.
Oh, man, you're not running from this.
Nah, I bought dope from him, but y'all aren't the drug police either.
No.
All right. When's the last time you saw him?
26 in the morning.
That's one day before we find our victim dead.
You know, Eddie Wright is making our job easy by giving us all this juicy info.
This is my girlfriend in Maple Creek. So I'm driving around the block, flagged him down, about $15 worth off of him.
You get in the car?
No way, man. Walked up to the driver's side, handed him the cash, he handed me the dope. That was that.
We gotta wonder, I mean, that's a drug transaction getting served at a driver door because he said Casimiro never got out. Maybe inadvertently touched the car and left those prints there for us later.
Never been inside Casimiro's car.
All right, so you know anything about Casimiro's murder?
No way.
So where were you last night?
I was at my girl's. You can ask her.
She has absolutely nothing to contribute that brings us any closer to identifying these two people that were in the backseat of our victim's car.
Even though we're not really feeling Eddie Wright, we still gotta be thorough. We checked his alibi, but it was good. We also put his mugshot in the lineup and had Camilla actually view it.
And she quickly said there's nobody on here that she can identify that was in the backseat of that car.
So Eddie Wright's no longer a suspect.
We're still considering the possibility that Camilla's involved, but we really didn't have any solid evidence. At this point, we had to come up with a new way to try to figure this thing out.
All right, so I checked with Mikey in the gang unit, and they could not find any gang connections with Casimiro.
Okay.
We know our victim's a drug dealer at this point, and we know being a drug dealer is a high-risk profession. And with that comes violence and sometimes homicide.
All right, I got something here.
We run Casimiro Ibarra through our system to see what his history was with APD.
Check this out.
Aggravated assault.
We clearly see he's a victim of an assault.
Look at the date, though.
March 5th.
Mm-hmm.
The timing makes sense.
That's 3 weeks before our victim was found dead.
I don't get it, though. Dope boys don't call the police.
And we're talking about a victim that's in the game. He called the police. That doesn't normally happen.
Maybe that's what got him killed.
We gotta consider, is that person trying to silence the guy he got a report generated from?
Maybe that's the motive for the murder.
Maybe the person that assaulted Casimiro came back to finish the job.
Maybe there's something in his criminal history.
We're feeling like a drug connection led to Casimiro Ibarra's death.
All right, I got something here.
We run a background check on Casimiro. We see that he was a victim of a grave assault just 3 weeks earlier.
March 5th.
Mm-hmm.
The timing makes sense. All right, so how'd it happen?
So it started as an argument.
Me and Vim peeped the police report, and we see that Casimiro got into some kind of verbal dispute with this cat named Marcel Jones. It got so heated, the dude named Marcel Jones takes out a pistol and starts beating our victim, Casimiro Ibarra. I mean, he beat him with a gun. It makes sense that later on he shoots him with one.
Damn. Roughed him up pretty bad.
Yeah. Look at this.
We pulled Marcel Jones's mugshot, and lo and behold, this cat's got dreadlocks. This is just like the suspect that Camilla described.
I'm really liking Marcel right now.
Me too. Let's pull his address.
So now we're all excited and amped up. You know, we gotta go holler at Marcel Jones.
He has a history with our victim. He's done damage to him before. This could all be related, and this could be our guy. This is making too much sense at this point.
Oh, man.
We punch his name into our systems just to see where this brother is, and we find out he's been in jail before our murder even happened, and is still sitting there.
Of course he's not our guy.
Right. Why do we think it was gonna be this easy?
So far, we've been getting all these pieces of evidence that were good, and it just keeps falling apart, and we start over. At this point in the investigation, we need something solid.
Benny, have something for you.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man.
And just when we think we've hit another dead end, another wall,
This is Casimiro's call logs.
the phone records come in. This is important. We're gonna ID people off numbers. It's beautiful.
Let's focus on the calls around midnight.
We know from Camilla that the victim was talking to the bad guys. So we know, with these phone records in front of us, that number's in there.
All right, I got it. So the last call made, the subscriber listed is Justin Mills. Give me a second.
So we run Justin Mills through the system.
Okay, Justin Mills has drug charges, and he's got dreads.
And we got a description. And we see height, weight, body description, and dreadlocks. He matches the same person Camilla described as the person that was sitting behind her in the car and the person that she talked to on the phones.
You got a home address?
No. Hold up. I think we have a girlfriend.
So we dig a little deeper and we find out that Justin Mills has an associate named Janelle Gordon. And this sister lives out in East Point.
That's right.
We knew at this point, we've been striking out all along. This was a linchpin. This was gonna be what helped us solve this case.
When we arrive at Janelle's apartment, she invites us inside.
Okay, so we need your assistance with this murder case.
Yeah, sure. And anything I can do to help.
She is straight up cooperative. I mean, she is as surprised to see 2 homicide detectives in her house as she's ever been in her entire life.
We're looking for somebody that you know.
Sure.
She wants to get to the bottom of what's going on because she had nothing to do with this.
You know Justin Mills?
Yeah, that's my boyfriend.
I'm like, we're hit pay dirt. Now we know we are at the right spot for at least one of these guys in that car.
You know where we can find him?
Yeah, he's in the back bedroom.
I just looked at my partner and I was like, we may be face to face with one of our killers right now.
All right, do you mind going to get him just so we can talk to him real quick?
Sure.
Thank you.
We're locked and loaded, excited. This is the moment for this case right now.
What's up?
This sister finally comes out and she presents us this guy named Justin Mills, who's a short, light-skinned brother with short hair. This isn't the Justin Mills we've been looking for.
You're Justin Mills?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on here?
This is Casimiro's call logs.
The Casimiro Ibarra murder investigation is now growing some legs. After getting the victim's cell phone records, we zero in on the number the victim last had contact with.
The subscriber listed is Justin Mills. Give me a second.
Mills's physical description is consistent with the information and the description given by our victim's girlfriend.
We're trying to find somebody that you know.
We visit Justin's girlfriend and hit pay dirt.
You know where we can find him?
Yeah, he's in the back bedroom.
When she comes out with this guy, he's a short, light-skinned brother, and he's got short hair. This ain't the Justin Mills from the mugshot.
You're Justin Mills?
Yeah.
Okay. Then who is this fella?
You recognize this guy?
Yeah, that's my brother.
She says that's my brother, Ceylon Mason.
All right, so why is your brother in the system as your boyfriend?
He used my identity when he was busted.
This happens all the time. Jokers use other names when they get arrested or stopped by the police if they got active warrants or they're just subjects of active criminal investigation.
It's not the first time he used my name.
You know, we feel like we didn't hit a dead end this time. We actually hit a tunnel.
Do you know where Ceylon is?
No, but his girlfriend will know.
Could you give her a call for us?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is gonna lead us somewhere.
Hey, can you give me a call back when you get the chance?
Let's do something. Have her call us.
We didn't meet our suspect on this scene, but we met his sister. His family just effectively gave him up. We're on the road to recovery on this investigation.
This is Vince.
So later that same day, my phone rings and it's actually Ceylon Mason calling.
Yo, man, thanks for calling. So listen, man, we need to talk.
I recorded the conversation because I didn't know what Ceylon was gonna say.
Okay, so your name came up on a case I'm working.
I don't know why.
And Ceylon was pretty much engaging in the conversation.
Okay, so how about you come to the office and we straighten this out now?
I don't know. I got some stuff to take care of. He's trying to figure out which way to go. I mean, this is normal behavior. We expect this, so we don't really feel and have our hopes up he's actually coming into the office.
All good. I sprung this on you.
I didn't want to spook this kid. I wanted to make him feel comfortable, and that's something we always do.
What about later today?
Well, let me call you back.
What do you think?
He knows we're on to him. Let's see what his next move is.
And the feeling I got, he needed to digest this, let it marinate a little bit for the gravity of this whole case to weigh on him.
We waited and waited. The next day goes by, and Ceylon never called back. He was a ghost. By not calling us, Ceylon really confirmed our suspicions that he's involved in this murder somehow.
We weren't really surprised, but we were stuck. We didn't have enough to get an arrest warrant for him. Camilla told us she didn't get a good look at his face, so we knew getting a lineup together wasn't going to help. At this point, we had to come up with another plan.
We pride ourselves in thinking outside the box in these investigations.
So we decided to do something we've never tried before, and it was just crazy enough to work.
We invite Camila Santos to the office.
Thanks for coming in. Grab a chair. All right, so you spoke with one of the killers on the phone, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and you also spoke to him in the car?
that's right.
Okay. Look, we want you to listen to something, all right?
If it indeed is Ceylon Mason, to which I have an audio recording of his voice, she could do a voice ID.
Just listen closely and take your time. Let us know if you recognize his voice, okay?
We've never done that before. I didn't even know if that would fly in court, to be honest with you, but we needed to move this needle in some direction. So at this point, that was some dice I was willing to roll.
I don't know. I got some stuff to take care of.
We're sitting here waiting on homicide history to take place. We can't wait to hear what she's got to say.
What do you think?
This entire case is riding on this moment right here.
Thanks for coming in.
A week into working in the Casimiro Ibarra homicide, and we're circling back to his girlfriend, Camila Santos.
So you spoke to one of the killers on the phone?
Unfortunately, Camila was unable to make an ID from a photo lineup, so we improvised.
Look, we want you to listen to something, all right?
We have an audio recording of our prime suspect, Ceylon Mason.
I don't know. I got some stuff to take care of.
We hope that Camila will recognize his voice.
What do you think?
Can you play it again?
Sure.
I don't know.
She's listening to this recording, and suddenly, her eyes go super wide.
I got some stuff to take care of.
That's it. That's the guy with the dreadlocks.
Are you sure?
1000%.
This was a watershed moment in criminal homicide investigation.
This is Vince.
My partner was thinking on his toes, gets his digital recorder out, and I think he just made history.
So thanks for that. We'll be in touch.
Here, I'll walk you up.
This confirms, without a doubt, that we are on the right track with Ceylon Mason. So now we just got to pick up more pieces to try to tie him to this puzzle.
I need you to come into the office. We need to talk.
I start calling Ceylon to convince him to come in and sit down and give us his version of why he is involved in this case. And it worked.
You holler at him? It's done.
All of a sudden, Ceylon Mason is ready to come and see us.
How'd you do it? I told him when he comes in to talk to us, I'm not going to arrest him.
This is one of those areas where we sometimes step out on a ledge. I didn't promise him I would never arrest him. I just promised him I wouldn't arrest him that day and that he would go home.
3 days later, Ceylon Mason comes in for an interview.
I can leave after this?
Yeah. You have our word.
It's important to keep your promises because you're establishing a reputation out there in the street. And our reputation, it meant everything to us.
Now, you'll probably be indicted by a grand jury later on, but for today, you'll be able to go home to your family.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Let's start off with some basics then. You recognize this guy?
He starts by telling us he actually knows our victim, knows him as Red, that he's actually bought drugs from our victim before over on Cleveland Avenue.
Yeah, he came to me about buying some rocks.
In the afternoon of March 26, 2004, Casimiro calls Ceylon because he wants to purchase 3 ounces of crack.
I told him I have to go do a connecting. It'll be about $1,900.
What he's telling us makes sense. Our victim felt comfortable enough with him as a past customer to call him to re-up, to do some more business with him. And Ceylon was willing to help.
What's in it for you?
I get a small piece of the cut.
Who's the connect?
My boy Stone.
Ceylon calls Stone and says, look, I got a guy that wants to buy 3 ounces of crack cocaine. Let's meet up and let's make this transaction work.
What's Stone's real name?
I don't know.
Okay. What's he look like?
He's a tall, thin brother.
That's the exact same description that Camilla gave as the guy that sat behind the victim in the car and actually fired the gun, killing him. So now I'm thinking Ceylon is literally telling us Stone is the trigger man.
I mean, Stone told me that they have to pick us up to go get the rocks, and I told Red, and he picked us up. We were on our way giving this girl directions, and that's when it went crazy.
Everything was cool. Everybody's chilling in the car. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Ceylon says Stone pulls out a gun and shoots the victim in the back of the head.
Man, I couldn't believe it myself.
Ceylon says he had no idea Stone had a gun or that he was even going to kill the victim.
Stone asked where the money was, and he got out of his pocket.
He tells Camilla to get out the car. She did as she was told and ran off. I mean, this story's totally consistent with what Camilla said. I mean, everything right now is lining up.
I wasn't even in on the murder. I swear.
Okay. What happened next?
I mean, I got in the car, drove for a little bit, I stopped, and then I just ran. Ran all the way to Maple Creek.
We know this is somewhat of a self-serving statement, but his brother is giving us facts.
You didn't get any of the money.
Nah, man.
He was afraid, so afraid that when he stopped that car, he just ran. And he says he was afraid that Stone was gonna shoot him.
All right, did you get a look at what Stone went?
His behavior was appropriate, in our opinion, to what he was telling us. It lines up with facts. It kind of corroborates what Camilla's told us.
Okay. You free to go?
So, true to my word, I let Ceylon go home that day.
For real?
Yeah.
So right now, the only question we have is who is Stone? So the next day, we received a call from Ceylon Mason's girlfriend, and she told us Stone's real name is Melvin Johnson. We ran Melvin Johnson through the database and found out he was arrested for stomping a man to death 2 years earlier. He was currently out on bond awaiting trial.
We printed Melvin's mugshot and reached out to Ceylon for confirmation, but this guy wouldn't return our calls. So we got arrest warrants for both Ceylon and Melvin. We found out both of these guys fled town. On December 8, 2004, Ceylon Mason is arrested in Orlando, Florida. 2 days later, Melvin Johnson is arrested at home in Riverdale, Georgia.
Ceylon Mason pleads guilty to manslaughter and is sentenced to 20 years in prison. On March 16, 2007, Melvin Johnson finally goes to trial. Ceylon is the prosecution's star witness. Me and my partner felt like Ceylon was being truthful, and without a doubt, the jury felt the same way. Melvin Johnson is convicted of malice murder and sentenced to life in prison plus 5 years.
All right, let's see what we have.
Well, this case brings back memories because we were just 4 years in the homicide, trying to find our way.
What's that on your shoe, man?
The battles and the hurdles that we had to go through in this case.
Of course he's not our guy.
We kept coming up empty.